As we mentioned later in the video, this was recorded on the 11th of August before the Burnley-Manchester City game, which is why a lot of these takes will have aged like milk within about 5 minutes. Regardless, hope you enjoy. What's up, you mates? Welcome to the Cringers podcast, episode 2.9.2.5. Here with Harry.
Exactly. Hello.
It's been 100 million years, because I've been fucking busy. I've discovered football and I've been cured of depression.
Anyway.
What's to talk about this week?
Football.
So I've got the topic list right. The Rome. The foam is here. The foam has finally arrived in my vicinity. It's in a big box in my fucking shed room. And just need to pop it onto some cardboard, glue it onto the cardboard, staple the cardboard onto the walls. Is the plan. And it's a fucking genius plan because I'm a fucking genius.
Yeah, definitely. And the football has been somewhat existing or it's been existing, maybe, sometimes.
As we record this, 2 o'clock on the 11th. First game starts on the 11th at 8.
Starts tonight. The football.
At 8 in the AM PM. 8 AM in the Burger King. That is the Tory Gnome's job.
Anyway, so what we have to do, what's the first? We got the predictions for how the Premier League is going to exist next season.
Yes.
Right. So should we say our predictions? Should we say them?
Who've you got to go down?
Well, the guys going down. Luton 20th. But now I'm sceptical. Because Sheffield United have done significantly awful business this last night.
They seem like they're almost trying now, from what I can tell.
They'd sold their best player to Burnley.
And Marseille as well. They sold their best players to Burnley and Marseille. They didn't fulfil the loan contracts with the other best players who were on loan from Man City.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And Luton, then Sheffield United, then Everton. That's my three going down.
I mean, Everton. I think Everton might be fine. Sean Dyche is just about mentally balanced enough to counteract the fucking idiocy of the board.
They now decided to make like 3 actually decent signings, and it looks like because of the fiasco of Wolves, that it's quite significantly. It looks like it probably should be Wolves going down. People say Bournemouth will be in a relegation scrap. They have just signed Alex Scott. I know they don't have their manager anymore because he's going to go to Wolves, Gary O'Neill. They do still have a very strong side which stayed up quite convincingly last season, and they've signed Alex Scott. So as old as Jefferson Lerma's getting.
Gary O'Neill is cripplingly overrated just because he kept Bournemouth in the league and because Bournemouth is historically a small club. Even though they had the squad to stay in the league, they were not in the relegation zone when he came in, admittedly after 4 games, but they were 16th. He took them to the 15th via 20th. They're in the relegation zone almost all season. They peaked at like 14th. They had the opportunity to like push on and finish mid-table once they were safe. They didn't bother. They lost all the last 4 games. They just sort of looked a bit gormless. They lost to Chelsea, who were terrible.
Yeah.
But O'Neill, I don't think O'Neill was going to work at Wolves. He'll be sacked in like January. And Wolves are financially in a mess. And they've lost all of their best players in Adama Traore.
And then you've got... I don't know why I put Bournemouth 16th, but that's where I've got them. And ahead of them I've got Nottingham Forest. Who have you got?
I've got Sheffield United 20th, Luton 19th, Wolves 18th, Everton, Forest, Bournemouth.
Yeah, that's way better than mine. That's way more realistic.
I changed mine up a week later.
Yeah, I haven't changed mine yet. Luton, Sheffield United, Everton, Wolves, Bournemouth, and then Nottingham Forest. They stayed up as difficult as last season. I think if they give go again with their new signings and Gibbs White and Mr. Brennan Johnson looking as good as they look, they might actually have. So they signed Elanga, haven't they? So they might actually. I like the business, but I don't know what's going to happen next. And then who have you got 15th?
15th, I've got Bournemouth.
Okay, who've you got 14th? I've got Burnley.
I've got West Ham. I nearly put Burnley like 9th. Mine. I'm very convinced they could finish like completely fine, even top half. Honestly.
I think, but well, West Ham hadn't been as cataclysmic as they are now when we made this prediction. But they have made some really good signings with the money that they have.
They're getting Ward-Prowse. They're on track to getting. I think they might be getting McTominay.
And Edson Alvarez from Ajax,
as well. Yeah,
he's a really good centre back / defensive midfielder. So a Mexican.
I feel like they get slapped around a little bit less. I think because they lost like 5-1 at home to Newcastle or something. I don't think they'll be as embarrassing. I don't think so. I don't think they'll have someone shine through in the same way that they had Declan Rice shine through last season. But I think they'll be more consistent across the squad in terms of quality.
Is Scamacca still there? Is Scamacca's any good this season? Because let's not forget, Mikel Antonio is getting older.
He's about 38, yeah.
So, if Scamacca's not any good this season, I don't know what they're going to do. I've got them 12th. I've got Fulham as 13th between West Ham and Burnley, just because I don't think they'll have as much conviction as last season, but they won't go down. I think they're too set in their ways and too actually.
I think they were too competent last season. They weren't really riding their luck much.
Do they still have Manor Solomon?
I think they might.
He could really shine through this season. Who have you got 11th? Actually, who have you got 14th, 13th, 12th?
I've got West Ham, Burnley, Palace, Fulham. I think I rated Fulham a bit high.
I've got Fulham, West Ham, Palace, Brentford.
Oh no, Manuel Solomon went to. I think he went to Spurs.
Spurs. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. The business for Spurs. Who have you? I've got 10th. I've got Brentford.
Same here.
Cool. 9th. I've got Spurs.
I've got Brighton 9th. Because they've got European football, they might be drained a little bit.
Yeah, I just prefer the idea of Brighton being 7th than Tottenham being 7th. Chelsea. And then 8th, I've got Chelsea.
I've got Tottenham 8th. So I think it might be a better season. They won't have particularly high expectations. But I think Ange's a good manager. He'll get decent results out of them. But I feel like they might be just sort of slipping away a little bit into. Yes. Remember, like in the mid 2000s, where they were sort of mid-table, a bit obscure, realistically.
Yeah.
It'd be a bit better from that mind, but not quite as good as they once were. Consistently in the Champions League, sometimes at least almost fighting for title. I don't think they'll be there for a while.
No. Who have you got 6th?
I've got Chelsea 6th, Newcastle 7th.
Chelsea. Okay, I've got Brighton 7th, Man United 6th.
You're a Liverpool fan. You're a fucking Liverpool fan, of course.
Yeah, no. I would have Man United higher, but Haaland's got a stress fracture in his back. Anthony is abysmal at football. And if Marcus Rashford doesn't carry over this form, they won't score a single goal next season. So I'm struggling to believe that they will have any form of goal-scoring output. As much as they might defend well, I just don't understand. I just don't see a world in which their attacking output is anywhere near as good as it was last season.
Genuinely, was anyone convinced by Haaland?
I wasn't. Personally.
Anyone convinced by the fucking 6'3" Ellen DeGeneres?
I don't think Anthony's any good. I think Sancho is a brilliant footballer, but he's not a Man United player. I don't think there's anyone that actually, fits that team.
Who have they got in terms of like players of that absolute like pinnacle? Because you need that across the squad. You
Marcus
see that
Rashford
with Arsenal, you see that with Man City.
Marcus Rashford has so much more to give. Like, so much more. And Man United are just not unlocking that potential. They did last season to a certain degree, but I think there was so much more he could have done.
Yeah.
Same as just a better club. Like players like Sterling. Players like Sterling has proved that a club can unlock a player's ability. He was so good at Man City. He was shocking at Chelsea. He was great at Liverpool. He was shocking at Chelsea. I think it just proves that a club can really lay down a player.
From what I've heard, Sterling was trying to nurse a potential sort of borderline injury.
Yeah.
So he was heavier. He was being a bit more cautious in how he's playing. So I guess that might have been part of what affected it as well. I'm sure Chelsea, especially last season, seemed fucking miserable.
Yeah, I just don't see a world in which Man United have enough conviction in not. I feel like Ten Hag knows what he's doing,
Yeah.
but the like the values of the club and like how Man United is run, how the world expects the name Man United to be, just isn't as they should be. Just isn't going to help them in their like young player, like the way they want to get new young players in, just doesn't work. Like
Yeah, I think it's
now
like
with Mason
clashing
Greenwood
a
and
little bit.
everything like that. It's not. I don't think. I don't personally think they will finish above Newcastle or Arsenal this season. I think that both of those teams know what they're doing a hell of a lot more and are resting a lot less on just Ten Hag and vibes. I think so. I don't know. I think it's very.
Newcastle will be shattered, honestly.
Yeah, but they are a really fit side. Like they are going to be able to cope with that. They have Tonali, who's under 25. They have Guimaraes, she's under 25. They have Dan Burn, who's 787. That's different. Sven Botman is 4 years old. They have Alexander Isak, who's 12. Like, all of their players are like so unbelievably young and fit and have so much to give to football. I don't see why
but their style of play though is what indicates that really, because the only way you're running more in the Premier League than under Eddie Howe is under Pochettino. That is the only option in which you're running more, really.
And Chelsea are too big to bother anyway. Chelsea won't actually. None of the Chelsea players are going to run for Pochettino.
Well, if you got fifth?
Fifth, Villa.
So, just
they're really good signings, and they're really good players anyway.
Yeah,
it's just so obvious.
They were like fourth in the form table last season from when Emery came in.
Yeah, they've attacking
wise.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Attacking wise, they're much sharper. Defensively, streets ahead. They seem like they might be going for a back three system to get the best out of the centre backs. They know what they're doing. Competent. Unai Emery's more than competent. He's won 150 million European competitions. Villa will at least go far, I think, in the Conference League. Also win it. They're looking to be on the up. They could. When I say they challenge, not quite realistically, but they will be in the periphery of top four, I think.
Yeah. I think with Villa, I think that they've made such good signings that are just so obvious, like just like no-brainer decisions. Like they've got Moussa Diaby, who played alongside Leon Bailey for Leverkusen. Leon Bailey really did come into his own towards the end of last season with Ollie Watkins. Brilliant. Moussa Diaby has already proven himself in pre-season to be a very good football player. He runs at ridiculous speeds. If they want to use him as some form of a counter-attack formation with a high line, he's going to be absolutely key, especially with the pace and absolute like just punching ability of Ollie Watkins. They won't unstoppable games. And players like Pau Torres, he's a player who played under Unai Emery at Villarreal. He knows what it's like to be a captain. He was the captain of Villarreal. He's a massive centre back. He's played in the Spanish division for years. He knows what he's doing. They've already got players like obviously Ollie Watkins, and they've got Diego Carlos coming back from a season-long injury. He was so good for Sevilla season before last. He was one of the best centre backs in La Liga, and unless his injuries made him completely forget how to kick a football, he really will be quite some player for Sevilla next season.
Right.
I don't know about them getting top four. I just think
top four's not quite realistic.
They'll be in and around. I think they'll definitely be in and around for quite some time.
Right, tell me your top four then, fourth to first.
So fourth, I have Arsenal. Now, based on their recent form, that may be subject to change in the next 21 hours. But they didn't convince me enough, even with Havertz. Just like they don't convince me that they can hold. They can, like, the one thing they had that issue with last season was defensively holding onto their spot as the title holders. As
Yeah.
the title, as the people in first. They really struggled with Gabriel and Saliba not being fit. Just like, I know now they have Jury and Timber, but he's going to be a lot more used as a left back or a centre back. A left back or a right back than a centre back, considering the form Ben White is in. Like, I just don't see a reason for them.
If
I
you
don't
check
know
the
why they.
statistics, though, if you check the statistics, they were more riding the luck between after the World Cup and when Saliba got injured, and the injury really sent the morale dipping a little bit.
Yeah.
You can tell it altered the sense of how
But
they were
obviously,
playing. They were riding a luck
the
a little
lack
bit
of-
beforehand, and they just aren't now. They weren't
the
then.
loss of
Couldn't.
the loss of a player as big as Granit Xhaka is. I know he is not like world class, but he's definitely a player. He's a player's player.
Yeah.
He's someone who's there for the players, and he's very much an important part of that dressing room. Aaron Ramsdale is really proving to be the best English goalkeeper in the world. He is unbelievable as a goalkeeper. Declan Rice, he will do well. Everyone knows Declan Rice. He's a future
I don't see a world where he is just an abject failure.
Yeah, no, I just don't understand. He might not be worth 105 million, but there's no way he doesn't do well for them. I don't understand why. I know it was a sort of a pre-season game in the final of the the Community Shield. Why they were playing a 2 defensive midfielder formation against Man City. I know you do have to control the midfield. You can't let Kovacic go anywhere. You can't let a lot of those players. You can't let them move anywhere. But the lack of conviction from Man City until Cole Palmer came on proved to me, at least, that they did not need Thomas Partey to be there for a lot of that game. Like, he wasn't a necessary asset, and they could have had on another player to go forward. And I'm just wondering whether, if Miguel Arteta does decide to use a 2 defensive midfielder formation, whether they'll have that same explosiveness that they had last season.
Yeah.
And whether players like Zinchenko and Ben White will be more useful when they have counterattacks put on them. Or whether they'll resort to more of a 3-back formation with 2 defensive midfielders. But I don't know. So who have you got fourth then?
I've got Liverpool fourth.
Liverpool fourth, of course you do.
They could realistically finish about 11th, considering they've got 2 defenders ever. Trent is suddenly revealed to undone his move from midfield to right back. Press Control Z on half his career. They've got 2 midfielders in replacement for about 500 million players.
Yeah.
And the morale will be through the floor now that James Milner is gone, and they have no reason to check the boring James Milner Twitter account.
Now,
they're going to be good players. I think they're going to be in a similar caliber to Tottenham before they collapsed previous season, because they were hovering around 3rd to 5th most of that season. They were attacking wise strong, midfield propel that forward, but defensively they're still question marks really. Van Dijk's getting a bit old in terms of other players. What sustenance is there truly? Unless they're
Jurgen Klopp
in control of the ball.
Jurgen Klopp is the glue. He is still the best in my mind attacking coach that there has ever been and that there ever will be to a certain extent. He, in that first 20 minutes of a game, he can make his team absolutely smother the opposition to a point where they can never come back, and they have lost all confidence in the way of attacking our defence. And then when they do, even a subpar Van Dijk or a subpar Canate can still prevent any form of leakage. The only question marks have been Alisson being a bit of a numpty, and Van Dijk sort of being a bit of a numpty.
Oh.
But that was like, you could say, when watching the highlights and the actual game, the one against Wolves, one lost 3-0. it was quite obviously a midfield issue because
I was talking about the one in the cup.
Oh, well, the
Where
one we
Alisson,
won. Oh, that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
that. Ugh.
The one against Wolves where we did lose 3-0 was a lot more, I can see, a midfielder issue than a defensive or attacking. Because we'd attack, we'd get into that final third, we'd lose the ball, and then Wolves would just walk through that midfield. There was no one there. Fabinho couldn't do anything. Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones can't defend. They just walk straight through. And once they got it past them, and you're at a position where Van Dijk and what was a very badly performing Joel Matip, Trent and Robertson, or Simicas in them, situation where they are pressed into a corner with an out of form Alisson as their last resort behind them. So it's not surprised that we didn't do well. It's just I'm shocked by the lack of conviction and the lack of actual bringing it to them. Because towards the middle of last season, when we were actually starting to pick up steam again, and after that win against Everton, and it just started to fall apart because of a lack of bringing it to the other team. And I think, and this season, I know the signings have been worse, but the signings haven't been worse. The players aren't at that level. But if you can, someone like that Dominic Szoboszlai, if he plays anything near what in regards to how he plays, if he has any form of a play style anywhere near the way that Wijnaldum used to play, I think that bringing the game to the other team situation, which is exactly what Klopp wants to do, smother the other team within that first 25 minutes, just get them into a situation where their only hope is to just attack like we did against Tottenham. I know we then bottled it and then unbottled it, thank you Diogo Jota, but we just absolutely just ran them into the floor immediately. And I think that's what you have to do. I think the only way this Liverpool team, it's one of the ways we've succeeded in the past, is making sure that we had Coutinho, Firmino, Mane, Salah. Now it's looking a lot different with Jota, Salah, Nunez, Gakpo, and now I'm seeing the way that Gakpo's been gelling with the team and everything like that. I just feel that the way that we utilised Gakpo in attack towards the end of last season was so crucial and so well done from Klopp's perspective that I just think that if Nunez is on form and he obviously doesn't let critics get to him, actually plays the way that he did against Man United, against other teams, if he uses that pace like he did against Everton, everything like that, I think that we really will be a very convincing side and a lot better than the shell that is Manchester United. As much as they weren't, they seemed a lot more consistent. I feel like we will be more consistent this season. But you never know. I've got us as first, just because I can't not. As a supporter of a top four, you continue.
I feel like there will be points where they get caught out, but it'll be less than before. But it'll only be against more elite level opposition, only really against top half level teams, rather than Wolves.
Yeah.
It'll be a bit less embarrassing to watch. It'll be a bit more dynamic going forward because Klopp is a specialist in terms of that. But I don't think it's really adding up in terms of team that can really fight for the title. That's why I've got them fourth.
Well, I've got us first, partly because I support a team in the top four of the Premier League, and I sort of have to back them to win it, because we can. It's just a matter of if we will. I'm very, very convinced by players like Alexis McAllister, Dominic Szoboszlai, Gakpo. I'm very, very convinced by the way they play. So in that regard, I'm very excited to see what we do against Chelsea, especially with Nkunku out for 4 months. I'm very, very excited to see what those players can do.
Well, who've you got third?
Newcastle. I just think they're too consistent I don't think they'll drop as many points as they did towards the end of last season. I think they will. I love Alexander Isak. I love Sandro Tonali. I love Bruno Guimaraes. They're such clinical, consistent, just all round. Like all of those players in that in Newcastle squad. When I think of Newcastle, I don't think of like any specific thing. Like in Liverpool, I think attacking. Man City, I think just monster. Arsenal, I'm thinking like just that explosiveness. With Aston Villa, I'm thinking defensive tightness and speed on the counter. When I look at Newcastle, I just think of all round consistency. Just pure. They are in every way. They're like watertight almost. They just need to hold that and not let it get to their heads. And Callum Wilson needs to be uninjured, preferably.
I was only about 7 years younger as well.
Yeah, and Alexander Isak, if he plays the way he has been, I reckon that's pretty good.
I mean, I'm still a little bit doubtful of Newcastle in terms of the extra white load of Champions League, of course. Don't know how far they'll go in that, and also in terms of I remember last season they used to go on like random runs where they just draw every game. Start of the season they drew 5 from the first 7. They drew 5 from 8 in like January. 3 of the last 4 at the end of the season. I feel that could happen again. And in terms of chasing like more elite level European positions, it will cost them quite a bit. So that's why I've got them down 7th. I've got Man United in 3rd. I mean, they'll be quite consistent, I think, to last season. They'll be a bit less embarrassing at points. There'll be like moments where there's issues, but I don't think they'll be like trailing off particularly. I think they'll generally be on straight and narrow, generally picking up, trying to improve more. So they weren't a brilliant team last season. I saw them last season. They weren't particularly impressive. I honestly wasn't impressed much by it. I saw like 5-6 games. I saw out of those 6 games about 15 minutes of genuinely compelling football. It was against Chelsea. Doesn't count. So
yeah.
I feel like that dynamism will be improved. They'll be a bit sharper. They'll have their wits about them a bit more as well. And they'll be slightly
I don't like that.
Points, I think.
I don't like the age dynamic in their team. Like, their attack is ultra young. Like Haaland is like 4, Antony's like 12, and Sancho and Rashford are like 18. And then we've got
25.
midfield, Marcel Sabitzer is pushing 80. Christian Eriksen is 43.
Just because he's balding.
And Scott McTominay is 12. And then the defence, Raphael Varane is finished. I like Raphael Varane, but he is not. He's finished. That's his career. His career. He does have no need to play well for Man United. He is finished. He won everything with Real Madrid. That is it. He's done. Lisandro Martinez is very good, and I don't like it, but he's very good at football. Apart from against Mohamed Salah. Wait. And then
apart from against the Rise at Thorpe Park.
Oh, for God's sake. The left back, Malacia wasn't convincing. He wasn't convincing. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka is, I don't know. You either got Man United fans saying it's the best thing that's ever happened ever, or you've got every other fan saying that he's not. It's a bit overrated. And I don't. I like him, but still. Who's your top 2 then?
Arsenal 2nd, Man City 1st.
I've got Man City 2nd, Liverpool 1st. We've always played about Liverpool, also Man City. What's happening with Man City now?
Pep Guardiola is using his bald head as fucking sonar, is what's happening.
Yeah. Mateo Kovacic. I think they've struggled this season a lot more than they did last season. I know it's only a pre-season game and they have lost the Community Shield in the last 3 times they've played it. But I still don't completely think that they are. I don't know. The lack of Gundogan is worrying, I think, for Man City fans. I don't know if Kovacic is a direct replacement, as he's very, very, very good, but I don't think he's that level. You've got. Who else have you got? You've got. Bernardo Silva wants out. He wants out. Julian Alvarez, very, very good. Haaland, not even necessary. Like,
Mr. Head and
Haaland.
Shoulders.
Haaland, yeah. I think, oh, look at that, Eric's little sister. And then, what else have we got? Like, there's De Bruyne, there's Foden. It's not fair. Like, they'll be so consistent, and it's not worth going.
And they should have got such a mint academy as well.
Yeah.
And that's where Cole Palmer's stepping in this season, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't think there'll be. I don't think there's going to be much of a title challenge, really, in terms of between them and Arsenal. It would be consistently like 6 points ahead all season.
Oh, I don't know. It's all too early to.
Yeah,
it's the day of the start, and even if they win tonight, I don't think that proves we will.
Because it's Turf Moor.
Yeah.
It's
I do think Burnley will put up a proper fight, though. I don't think Burnley will bring their own.
They'd rather have
they won't
6
be playing. Burnley won't be playing this season. I don't think they'll be playing that all men behind the ball football. Like 11 men behind them. I think there'll be a lot more Vincent Company. I don't think they will.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not going to be
Sean
Dyche. Sean Dyche in there.
No. But now we spent 34 minutes rambling on about Premier League predictions. We predicted 10 minutes.
Whoops. Transfer window is on unketamine.
Yes. It functions maybe sometimes occasionally. So, Moises Caicedo, they agreed a fee of £111 million to join Liverpool. Only for when they told him to go for his medical, he just said no. He just rejected it. He just said no. He just said he only wants Chelsea. And that he had personal terms agreed with Chelsea. It's brilliant. I think the way that people view Liverpool would be a lot different had we had Caicedo, but now it's looking very doubtful. By that I mean we will not have Caicedo. Because if Chelsea do not put in a bid of above £111 million, which Brighton will accept, then
the indication is that they're willing.
He has to go to Liverpool. Yeah. But if they don't, he has to go to Liverpool. Obviously, he doesn't want to be there. Yeah. I don't understand what the issue was with Romeo Lavia. I genuinely don't know.
Because it would have been just stalling because they thought it was too expensive. They offered like 2 pence more every time.
Yeah. And then Chelsea spent 48 now. Useless. Harry Kane to Bayern Munich. What a shock.
Funny.
No one saw this coming. He should have left 3 seasons ago.
Oh my fucking god. I've just seen a good take from Mark Goldbridge. Oh my god.
That's what I wanted to tell you. So, tell you what's happening tonight. Mark Goldbridge, every Saturday night, in replacement for the Sports Bar Weekender, or the Trans Europe Express, or what else happens on it, or the boxing fight night. In replacement of that, every Saturday night, from 7 p.m, Mark Goldbridge hosts a radio show on TalkSport.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah.
Tomorrow night. Wow. I was literally just listening to the Sports Bar last night, and they just go, and I just hear the ad break comes on, and the adverts come on, and they just go, and when they do an advert for something within TalkSport, he has the same guy, just the voice, he goes, Mark Goldbridge, every Saturday at 7 p.m, the Mark Goldbridge show. The
point of the tweet is, quote is, the Premier League's just rebrand of the old Division 1. It's like changing your shirt sponsor, so this Shearer goal record Kane has to consider as nonsense anyway. The actual top scorer of all time is Jimmy Greaves, 357, compared to Shearer's 283, 260 in the Premier League. He's right! He's fucking right! People go, oh, offside or defenders, they didn't exist. They were like scurvy and rickets, and offside was mythical. That's not true. Offside was fucking harder until...
Offside was harder?
Offside was like, you had to be onside against defenders. You had to be onside 2 defenders until 1960, against 3 until the 1920s.
Yeah. It was actively harder. actively harder.
And with the rules that Wenger's like trying to push for, easier again for attacking.
Yeah, but all they want is more money for like Sky Sports.
Oh, it's exciting football. Pay me £100 million a minute.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly the system. No, it is. We've turned into a football podcast.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely fine.
Absolutely necessary.
I have just discovered a splinter in my finger by grabbing a water bottle. I didn't realise it was actually really. I got basically. I'm a pen.
Yeah.
So it's got tweezers in it, so I'm just going to go for the tweezers for the pen to get it out. So, what have you sent one through?
I've sent the full thing on the Football Kit Archive. So, the football site.
You're just posting.
No, I eat less burgers and commission less.
Oh, that is awful. No, you don't call it art either. Don't call it art.
Between quotation marks.
Right. So Man United home.
It is the normal Football Kit, who cares?
And I would get that's a 5 out of 5 home kit. That's a very good home kit. But I'm not gonna vote on it because I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm not gonna vote on it. But I'm gonna say that is a 5-star shirt.
It's a nice kit.
A very good shame that it's by Man United. Yeah, it's a very nice shirt. And as someone who has a lot of football shirts, I love it. The Arsenal away shirt, 5 stars. It is honestly one of my favourite shirts this season. I really like it.
Have you got fucking farts for eyes? What the fuck are you smoking?
I really like it.
Have you considered getting a therapist?
No, I genuinely really like it. It's on my Christmas list.
Okay, next, Arsenal home kit.
I'm getting it on my I got it on my Christmas list with Havertz on the back.
If he scores a fucking 1 goal, 1 assist.
Yeah.
Remember, that's it all season. Then he can ACL.
Yeah. Arsenal home, that's a 3.5 star. You know what I mean?
I know gold is
I
don't care, it's funny. Put silver on it, you nonsense.
It's a very nice shirt. But it's funny that but it's funny because they put gold because they were going to win the league.
Le Invincibles, Thierry Henry, who's a bold man.
You see that video of Jack Grealish saying to Thierry, your favourite position was double left. Would you take on Kyle Walker? And it's just Henry just screams all day at him. Like that Man City away shirt. Oh my god, is it nice? Good. White kits are simplistic but lovely. They're so nice.
It's not like the old Chelsea away kit from a few seasons back for his fucking hearing aid beige.
Right. Man City third kit. I don't like the red, but give it a collar and I'm buying it. It's a really nice. I like that shirt. Right. My personal favourite shirt this season in the Premier League of all of them is the Brighton third shirt.
Is it the same as before?
No.
It's the same as last season.
The black and green one. That's new this season. No, it's called the Brighton third kit. It's called third. Black and
genuinely
green.
says we're on the same site, right?
Yes. Football kit. It's just for 24-25 it will be their third kit, but for this season it's their away kit. That'll be right. Because they're doing that thing where they only okay.
Brighton kits are better than last season because they didn't have a big fucking H on them.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace one's alright. I get it because it's the Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
But,
The Aston Villa goalkeeper home shirt is really, really nice. If that green was on that sleeve patch as well, oh my word, that would be such a nice shirt. But because it isn't consistent, I hate it. BK8 is a really bad sponsor. So
didn't they get done when they were Norwich sponsors? Didn't they have the contract terminated because they were trying to advertise the Premier League and their services involving the Premier League with some quite dodgy means?
Like human trafficking?
Not like tax dodging. Dodgy.
It
was soft porn.
Opinions on the Arsenal third shirt.
That is clothing.
Brilliant. Great insight there. Bournemouth. Home shirt, basic. Away shirt, beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, it's lovely. Even the third shirt is very nice, I think.
It's alright, yeah. Brentford, what the fuck have they done? What are they continuing to do? Why?
Brentford, third kit. Oh my god. Lovely. Brentford away kit, awful. Brentford home kit, much worse than last season's.
On the site, if you go to the page of the home kit, it says worn by the likes of Ivan Toney, which is funny for multiple reasons.
Yeah, okay, shut up. Burnley, the W88 sponsor has ruined.
They had classic football shirts, and they go, actually, no, W88. We've been shit and anonymous for about 5 different Premier League clubs before.
The Watford shirt, awful.
Who's talking about fucking Watford?
No, it looks like what the Burnley away shirt is.
Oh, that. Why is it fucking puce?
And then their third shirt is
It's supposed to look like floodlights. It looks crap.
yeah. Oh, I thought it was either golf balls or sperm.
Golf balls. No, we decided to. A Burnley Football Club. We decided to base our third kit off a fucking spunk.
On Squonk. Chelsea home shirt, awful without a sponsor. Chelsea shirt, third shirt, the worst thing I have ever seen.
Why is it fucking spat out toothpaste blue?
That Chelsea away shirt with the 3 sponsor, lovely. Hasn't got the 3 sponsor. Anyway, Crystal Palace. I quite like the first shirt. Actually, no, I don't. I really like the goalkeeper away shirt though. The purple one. I really like that one.
Everton, forget the badge. Just look at the shirts.
And if we got rid of the state and the fact it's Everton, I would have that shirt, the away shirt and the home shirt. They are both beautiful.
What's this third shirt? It's just a fucking cardboard cut-out picture as well.
Yeah. Fulham. Third shirt, beautiful. Never change it.
Away from last season.
Never change it. Yeah, still lovely.
But it's the same picture as last season with the old sponsor.
Never change it. It's beautiful, man. I don't like SBO top. I don't like W88. Neither sponsor's very good.
Hepatitis A or B, who cares?
Yeah. Personally, spot top is better because it's not really a betting thing immediately.
So it looks a bit more subtle than a massive W.
Yeah. And 88 as well, lucky numbers.
Yeah.
Liverpool, we have smashed it out of the park this season, haven't
Except the HITC Sevens one.
That is beautiful. I want that green and white one. It's beautiful.
So the fucking Alfie Potts armour away.
The home shirt's lovely. The green one, oh. The third shirt, beautiful. The goalkeeper one, beautiful. That is what a goalkeeper shirt should be. Anyway, Luton.
They haven't even released the fucking goalkeeper shirts as well.
Could you be more boring? Man City home shirt, done. Man City away shirt, lovely. Man City third shirt, in the middle between okay and very good.
So good.
Man City goalkeeper shirt, beautiful. The green one, beautiful. Especially considering their goalkeeper is Brazilian, beautiful. Man United, apart from the Man United badge, I like the Just the Devil badge. I like that.
Yeah.
I like the announcement video. The announcement video is cool as hell. It's satanic. I don't really care.
Oh, well, I'm spooky. I'm Roy Keane. Oh, I'm spooky.
I know what? Everyone says they hate the away shirt. I quite like it.
The original link looked much closer to a Newcastle shirt.
I know it's quite nice. I know I quite like it. I've seen it in person. I quite like it.
It's alright, mind. It's alright.
Newcastle home shirt. Oh my god, that is incredible. The sponsor looks really nice. It works with the shirt so well.
Sponsored by Seller, which is where the owners lock homosexuals.
For God's sake.
I'm gonna get so fucking done for that if anyone notices. If anyone actually sees this ever.
That third shirt, the best, like actually.
Did you see the old Newcastle third shirt from a few seasons back that looked like a Joy Division album? I'll find it. It's this one. Sorry, it's the Way Show. I'll send you it now. The Way Show from a couple of seasons ago.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Like she made the
I
funniest,
really
not like one.
I really like all of those seasons shirts. I really do. I like all of those. Nottingham Forest rubbish. Sheffield United awful.
Nottingham Forest home is actually just a plain fucking template. POV, you bought a fucking shirt from Sports Direct for 15 quid. Sheffield United looks like a Samson shirt from like 6 years ago. Also, they've got
Spurs.
0p.
Now, Spurs away shirt is very much in my brain. My brain goes, that's lovely, that's awful, that's lovely, that's awful.
It's a brilliant badminton shirt.
Yeah.
On Sheffield United, you can see why they look so shit, because they're completely skinned.
Yeah.
Last season, even though they got promoted and they got to the FA Cup semi-final, they were so skinned that at one point their scouting systems on the computers just got turned off because they didn't have enough money because they didn't pay the bills. And at one point, the undersoil heating in their training facilities got turned off as well. You're just owing more money. How do you not have enough money when you're in the FA Cup semi-final? You're going to Wembley and you've just been promoted. How? How on earth? How on earth?
I hate the West Ham home shirt. I hate it.
Also, it's £85 million.
The worst. One of the worst this season. Also, Tottenham third shirts abysmal. It's awful. Wolves have embraced the Portuguese to a certain extent, haven't they? just gotta make a red and green kit. Yeah, I don't know. The Castore badge being orange, the shoulder patches being orange, and then the Astro Pay logo being white is so jarring.
It just looks a bit Championship playoff winners 2006.
Yeah. Well, the goalkeeper kit, the pink one, that is an instant classic. That is lovely.
That was an instant migraine.
That's the point. Have we done every team ever?
Yes.
We finished.
We have officially.
Wow. Iraya back in there ahead of New Balance as well.
Lucky Araya.
Yeah. I have an Araya. I have one of them. Right.
We've already talked for ages.
Yeah, we've spoken for ages. We are geniuses.
8 minutes for a company. 58.
We are Leeds. This is what happens when you're from Leeds City Centre and you start with podcast.
This is what happens when you are from POV from Swansea.
Yes. Chester City United, West Ham.
City. Sheffield.
Yeah.
I guess that's it then. We're going to talk about American investment. It's POV Burger.
Yeah, right, bro. Todd bowling ball shaped of bowling.
To get Chelsea from 3rd to the dizzy heights of 12th. But that is ultimately just him being a bit sick, really, mentally as well as physically. There's a lot of American owners coming in because the UK economy is in the fucking gutter, and there's a lot of people coming in, a lot of Americans coming into UK football as well due to the impact of Ryan Reynolds, and they're making a £100 billion documentary about Wrexham Football Club, and now the burger people believe it's Free Guy FC.
Free Guy FC. Oh my god, what's the other one called? Yeah. The other show.
The other who? The other what?
The other show. The other movie with Ryan Reynolds in. It's called like Saving Ryan. I don't know. Project Ryan, something like that.
Project Ryan.
And there's also that other one, the Red Notice one.
Breaking news, we have completed and fully, entirely discussed the football. Football has been cured of all of its ailments because of us, and us exclusively.
We won football. We finished it.
But on actual Seriously, American investment. I understand it. It's normal. Investment. Words in order. Words in order. That's
American.
it.
Yeah.
We'll probably be in the room soon for actual episode 12.
Yes. With Victoria.
And
we
Eric.
have a new.
and I.
We have a new podcast member.
If this becomes a genuine vehicle for fucking interviewing celebrities, I'm going to buy a note and give it to your mother.
There is a new podcast member. There is a new podcast member.
Yes.
And it's Drake. No. It's DJ Khaled.
He's talking about how life is real.
Life is Roblox.
Let's go golfing.
Let's go golfing. No. It's Victoria, first ever woman that Eric has ever contacted, ever. We say woman, you'll say. We have a recording of like her attempt at her recording the first podcast. She's burping the entire time. That's all she does. So
He's not there with a fucking pint of ice cream as well for no reason.
Yeah.
He's got like a fucking pint of ice cream from the farm shop as well.
She had someone just like burping down the microphone. Yeah. Anyway, she'll be hopefully there next time. Yeah. Thank you for.
Get this uploaded in the next few days. Should be uploaded by like I don't know, Wednesday. Fuck it.
So basically, the season will be finished by now.
Yes.
And all of our predictions will be gone.
We will have cured football, and we have.
Say it with me. Crystal Palace first. Crystal Palace to win the league. Bournemouth second.
Crystal Palace to actually win every game. I don't know.
Bournemouth are winning the league. Bournemouth are first right now. No games played.
That's why Gary O'Neill got started for breaking the alphabet. Just ignoring the English language.
Yeah. AFC Bournemouth. Anyway, thank you for existing.
Yeah. This has been absolutely brilliant. We're all geniuses, and we've got 100,000 astonishing ideas about what we're actually doing. Might be consistent. We won't be consistent. Bye.